Hello, hello, and welcome to the Coaching Business Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Kat Connect, and I am excited to share with you soul-driven strategies that help you succeed in your business and your life. Today, I'm completing what I've been calling the Harvesting series. This is the fall series where we're looking at the fruits of your labor, and right here in this fall time, this final push of action towards your goals for the year. My guest today is Arjan Makar. She is a beloved member of the Soul Driven Success community. And so, therefore, instead of a traditional introduction, I'm going to invite Arjan on and ask her questions so that you will get more of an idea about her focus as a relationship coach. Then we're going to do some live soul search coaching. So you're going to want to listen all the way through the show today. Welcome, Arjan.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's always fun to have you on the show. So, one of the trainings in the Evolve Your Coaching Business course, well, a big one, right, is around niche. And I thought it would be useful for the people listening to kind of break down your niche a little bit so they'll get to know about you, but also a little mini training on how to think about a niche. So the three areas, this is the way I've really been training it as I go out and do presentations. And I need to kind of come up with a simple way to talk about it, is that there's an area of focus, there's a problem you help people solve in that area, and there is a passion that you have. So let's break it down. First of all, what is the area of life that you most like to help people with?
Relationships, but specifically romantic relationships, because I think romantic relationships are, or lack thereof, are where we learn the most about ourselves.
Mm. Yeah, and there is really something, I don't know where this is going to fall. I just watched a movie called The Materialist. I don't know if you've watched that movie.
I have not.
Well, I suggest you watch it because it's right up your alley, but it's all about dating and it's a matchmaker. But it really it brought that home to me, that how this one area of life can be so challenging, and yet the area where the growth is that's where we can grow because we care about it and you're engaged with another person or not, and all that stuff. So for you in the romantic relationship area, what are like two or three of the main problems that you like? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to help you with.
Yeah. Well, I think it all boils down to, and I think this is with all relationships, but it is especially true in romantic relationships. And it's how to be really present with our own inner knowing, our own self, our own needs, wants, values, while at the same time bonding to someone else. So I see people, and I have myself done two things. You can go way to the side of connecting, where like you're giving up things that are really precious to you in order to really secure a bond with someone. Or you're so protective of your own heart and your own space and your own values that like there's no compromise and no opportunity for bonding, or very little.
Yeah, that really makes sense. Those two extremes.
Yeah.
That and maybe the same person could have both those problems. And I'm imagining, at least this is my own experience. I've been an overbonder, and then I've been like, well, wait a minute.
Right.
I don't want to give away too much. And then I've been told that I was cold and, distant.
Yeah. Well, and I think we have to I think we have to actually maybe like flex those muscles to find a middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's part of a process if you're paying a lot of attention to that stuff. And then some of it, of course, is attachment theory and what we were brought into the world with.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining for you, that's why coaching is so special here, because it's not problem solving. It's actually helping the person know themselves better and not making them right or wrong about how they've been in the past. But
no, not at all.
Yeah. So
it's such a great way to, to look at relationships too, because, I don't think we were all taught how to have them. Our culture is not very relational. And, in our parents, well, at least in my parents' generation, my mom told me that she got married to be able to move out of her parents' house. That was a driving force for her. It wasn't like necessarily like, I'm going to wait for the exact right person or, you
Yeah.
know,
A
any of
mucky
the
area. It's a
choices we have now.
muck,
Yeah.
mucky area that people need a lot of help with. And it's really fulfilling. This is where I want to go to your passion. So, an important part of a niche for a coach is that you have a passion around it. You actually like hanging out and talking to people about this problem. What's that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've always been fascinated by relationships in general, and when I was young, I used to watch, movies that were probably like the subject matter was probably too old for me, but it was just so fascinating to me. Like old Woody Allen movies where, they were really about like all the neuroses that we have in relationships. I just thought it was fascinating. And, I've been in many different relationships. I was married for 12 years. But I've also had, other long-term relationships, and I feel like this is an area where I've really wanted to grow within myself. I've seen myself completely realize how little I knew about myself and how difficult that could be on a relationship. And I've seen myself on the other extreme too, where I've been so protective of my own independence that it pushed people away. So, I mean, they say we teach what we need to learn.
Yeah.
It's a
But
little bit like that.
if it's something that, like you said, I think this is so true for most of us. There's some fascination. We can trace it way back. Or, we know
Yeah.
like, yeah, I just am interested in this because this is just, where how I'm wired. And what I love about what you do, Arjun, and I'm trying to think of how to articulate it here because it really feels special, this bringing no judgment and not even, okay, here's what you're supposed to end up with. After we're done
Mhm.
coaching, when you find yourself, when you come to know yourself better, here's the outcome, or you've done it wrong. Like right? I mean, I say this and we laugh about it, but I just know that's out there in the culture that, oh, if
Yes.
I only did these things right, and then I would end up with the love of my life, and that's what I'm supposed to do. And that thinking can just get a person really stuck and feeling bad about themselves, as opposed to, I'm here to learn, grow, you know, yes, let's find somebody. I want to find a person to be with. That's wonderful. But we all have our own journey. And no, I just don't think anybody, judging another person's, romantic journey is just, I just think it's something that's done in our culture that's negative. And I love that that's not what you do.
Agreed. And I think also what's really cool about it is the feedback I get from my clients and what I know about myself is the more we work in this area, the better all our relationships get. And it just seems to me that like that is a missing piece societally, culturally. So I get really jazzed up that like I feel like I'm pointing people towards something that really will give them a more fulfilling life. Their relationships are better, more stable, more fulfilling.
Yay. The world needs that. Okay. So that's what you do. And we're going to do a soul search process. Many of the people who listen to this podcast know about this process. I brought people on before. It's really intended. So for the listeners, this is a way of kind of being able to hear Arjun's process of looking at her coaching business because we're going to shift a little to your business and what it is you want to bring to fruition right now so that you can have that impact. So that this thing you're talking about, this experience, more people get the help that you have to offer. That's really the goal. So it's like I do have an agenda for more people to hear what you have to do. And we're going to do it with the soul search process. So what is one thing? What is that one thing? Because in the soul search, it's just easiest to well, if we focus on one thing you want to bring to fruition this year.
It's funny. I looked at my vision board before we started this from January, and I'm like, what's still left? And there's always for me, I'm always wanting to work with more and more clients. So of course, I would like to bring in more one-on-one clients. But, earlier in the year, I kind of put aside my group coaching,
Mhm.
and I think I want to have something ready to go for the new year in the group coaching space,
Nice.
because just even in talking to you for a few minutes about my business, I'm so inspired. I'm like, no, we got to like reach more people at once. So
Yeah.
let's talk about my
Okay.
group coaching
So
programs.
so what would this group coaching in the narrative of this, like, what are people going to learn? What do you most want to bring people together in a group to have them experience?
I think it's the joy of self discovery and self development, and that it's fun. It can be
Mhm.
fun. It doesn't have to be this like big scary, like, oh, I don't want to look at my past, or, kind of whatever. And I'm not trashing therapy by any means.
Mhm.
I think we should all be in therapy. But, I think in some therapeutic models, it's kind of arduous and people trudge through it and they feel bad about themselves. And I really think that when you're in a group of people who are all focusing on learning about themselves and open hearted, there's a fun, there's a joy, there's a fulfillment in it.
Yeah, I'm going to add in I'll add into your narrative. There's a safety too that you bring. That's what I'm imagining in this group so that it can be fun. Right? It's like a lot of the things we were talking about earlier, like in a group, if there's no judgment, there's no thing you're supposed to have to do. You just get to share and learn and grow. I think for some people, that's like the most fun thing of all. It's great. So, what are the positive things that you have to offer? So, we're looking at your business. You're going to offer this group. Like, what are the positive things you bring to it?
I know how to create a safe and courageous space.
Mm.
I have a lot of trust in my ability to do that.
Yes.
And I've run two full group coaching programs
Mhm.
in the past, probably a little over a year, maybe a year and a half. Yeah. So I've done it before. So I also have experience.
You've been to the leadership program, the coactive
I have. Yes.
training institute. I'm just gonna bring that in. You actually have been trained,
I
uh,
have.
both as a
And,
coach and a
even
leader.
before I even found coaching, I taught at the massage school
Mhm.
in my town. And, that a lot of that is about, yes, we're teaching massage techniques, but we're also teaching the ingredients of how to be in touch with yourself, which is presence and body awareness.
Mm.
So a lot of this stuff is second nature to me. And that makes me feel really confident. And I'm going to put
Yeah.
that in the positive, um,
Yeah. I really hear
positive
it,
pile.
Arjun. It's like, yeah, all the things that you're saying and this fun piece. Well, I'm going to bring that back, from the narrative into the positive. You have a way of holding space that's safe and courageous and fun. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say, right? Because there's a lightness, there's a way of, even if people, I imagine in relationships, some dark, heavy things come forward. It
Sure.
can be
Yeah.
really hard to share about those things, and having a lightness, a light touch, is just makes it so much easier for everyone.
Yeah.
And you have
In
that.
normalizing things, I think,
Yeah.
like, one of my own learnings in the past year or so is like that there's a lot of grief in relationships that haven't worked, or maybe like in, oh, I knew myself so well that I couldn't bond with that person. But that
Mm,
doesn't mean you didn't love them or have,
mm.
have hopes and dreams. So I think grief comes through a lot, and that is something that is, again, like a thing our culture doesn't often want to even touch.
Oh, so true.
And,
I mean, you're
we can
touching.
touch it lightly, we can touch it deeply
Yeah.
and normalize it.
Yeah, so this is very positive because I'm going to level one here. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, could I ever use this after my divorce? Because nobody, and I had a coach actually, really wanted to unpack it with me, really wanted to, allow me to, because it was my choice to get a divorce. So it was kind of like, so you made your bed, sleep in it, whatever, roll on with it. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that is so good. That's really, really positive. So when you look at what might blocks or fears or limiting beliefs you have about, because we're really switching things up here a little bit about this, like putting this out there.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes, because there's a lot of relationship coaches, or maybe not coaches, but I would say thought leaders in the relationship space
Mm.
that I look up to. Maybe I do some comparison and I think, well, who am I? Esther Perel has been a therapist for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
How can I help people if, that comes in sometimes. I haven't written a book yet.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. So just kind of look at that a little bit. It really makes sense. Those are things that, again, I hear those really there's some limiting belief that there is like a qualification like beyond what you have, because we just went through the things
I
you
know.
have, right? It's kind of like, yeah, okay, some other people have those things. I have been trained. I have had a lot of training on relationship by people who didn't have the things you have. So I'm just here and saying, if you put those aside, really knowing that this is time for you, like it's time for what you have. What inspires you?
Yeah, I mean, two things are coming to mind, and we might have to flush it out a little bit. But
Okay.
what I'm getting is like inspiration. Or I'm not sorry. That's the part we're on, right?
That's
Inspiration.
right. Right.
Um,
Inspiration.
intuition.
Ah.
It's something around intuition and just that like nobody like has the market on intuition, right? And and really, coming I feel like I can and my most powerful teachers have come to me and asked me to point my like gaze inward
Mm.
and really be in touch with that intuitive place. And we feel real inspired by that for many reasons. One is the people I work with, like, are really incredible people. And I know I'm going to keep drawing those people to me. And also the people I work with, like, it frees me up to just really enjoy and cheer them on
Mm.
because it's their intuition, not mine. Like, I don't have to
Right.
do it.
Right.
Yeah. And, I think everybody who's a coach knows that, but that's just kind of what came through really strongly for me in this moment.
Yeah. I really feel that. I really feel that too. What I get about this inspiration, kind of jumping off of those negatives, other people might have written a book or been doing this for 20 years, but you are bringing something that helps people in a way that's not in the head. It's not a thinking
Yeah.
thing. It's not the 12 steps. It's,
Right.
it's this thing, this gift you have of having people access that part of themselves, that intuitive, that the part that they know. It's probably all, for many of us that gets buried and shamed and it's time. So I'm imagining when I'm thinking about the inspiration for me as a group is how much fun is that when you're helping people, access their intuition and they're doing it together.
Yeah.
Almost like I see, the sparking happening.
Yeah.
Because there's something so fun when you feel another person, feeling their intuition and getting hits and going, yeah, that's how I am. And it's just really
Yes.
encouraging. Everybody out of their head, into their body, really feeling what's true for them.
Yeah. I guess it's like almost contagious when you're
Yeah.
in a room that's
Yeah.
popping off that way.
Yeah. 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 I'm feeling it just as we're talking about it. It's like I've
Yeah.
been in really heady rooms. So I know what that feels like, especially around relationships, because then we're really thinking hard and it's just, it's really easy to get stuck. So so there were, that's the inspiration is that together, intuitive, connection.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the
Yeah.
next piece here is the desire. What is it when you think about bringing this group together, like one thing that you really want to make happen? or anything that you go like, oh yeah, that's the thing I want to create or learn about or
Yeah. Mm, there's a lot. There's a lot of things.
throw a few out there and we'll
Yeah,
sort
like
through that.
I want to create some exercises just around intuition. I want to, have a room of 10 women that feels courageous and safe. I want to, look out and feel love
Mm.
from them and towards them.
Hmm.
Uh,
So there's some imagining here. I'm going to break this down a little bit because I hear you
okay.
actually in the imagining. You're starting to
I
imagining 10
am.
women and, they're
Mhm.
connecting and you're really feeling that. So one thing I heard, and let's just try this out as a desire, because I heard
Mhm.
you want to create an exercise around intuition.
Yeah.
And that one just felt that one I really felt like, oh yeah, an exercise around intuition that is a group exercise.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, think I've ever, that to me would be really special. That would be really, really cool. A way of having, a group exercise for people to access their intuition and be able to share it with each other. So from that, then we're into this imagining. So imagining 10 women, what might they be doing once they're connected to this intuitive exercise?
They might be like putting their attention into their, you know, elbow when they speak, right? So this is to bring it out of the head, right? Or into their
Yeah.
shoulders when they speak, or I mean, of course, their heart. That's probably, but like, something that doesn't feel like prescriptive, right?
Yes.
Like, what would your, cheekbone have to say about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
maybe their stream of consciousness journaling.
Yes. I was just thinking of something like that. I was just at a little a gathering. It was like an anniversary of my relationship coaching group, and we used cards, tarot cards.
Mm.
So but it reminds me of this because it just accessed intuition. Because there was something, the intuition was just crazy. So I'm imagining there's some way that together, as you're doing these exercises and not getting heady about it, you said it earlier, but it's like it's off the charts the way the intuition starts just roaming around the room and people are getting hits about themselves and each other and you can feel
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I imagine because there is this intuitive focus and kind of somatic, I know, kind of that the insights that these women have in this group. I just you tell me how this lands for you. This is your magic.
Okay.
But also they get insights for each other. So part of it is they get an insight for themselves and the other person is like, well, yeah, like, or they're like, this is something coming to me about, there's a way that the groups, there's that group mind
Yes.
that just is the best.
Yeah. And I don't remember all the neuroscience around that, but I know there is some.
Yeah, right? Because
Yeah.
I've been in groups where, and again, I just experienced it. I'm like, oh man, this is so powerful because there is something, there isn't, it does feel like there's like there is a neuroscience things where one person starts accessing that and then everybody does. And then you can get this insights and information that you can't get on your own and you can't even get it in a one-on-one coaching. As
Yeah.
powerful as that can be, the group kind of brings something else about.
Yeah. Like the whole being greater than the sum of its parts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fun. Okay, so we're at the creative action piece. So your desire is this the intuition exercise and imagining how it's going to like spark something with these 10 women. What do you want to do? What's some action to take to get this rolling?
I'm going to reach out to my leadership pod and ask for ideas. Just a
Oh,
big old, good old fashioned brainstorm.
that's great. I love
Yeah.
that. You might want to go on one of our group calls Put that out there as
Yes.
well. Just see, this is a great topic. I'm really curious to find
Yeah.
out what are intuition exercises for a group.
Yeah.
It's
Like, how do
really
you teach
exciting.
intuition? And not that I'm teaching it, but like, how do
Yeah.
you create a space where people can access their intuition? Yeah.
And I'm going to go back up into the imagining because I do imagine this is a way you promote this is one of the elements you put into the promotion of this workshop that is really attractive to people because it's something we all Curtis just did a presentation to the Chamber of Commerce group he's in, and he talked about intuition. He said the whole room was buzzing. It was just like everybody knows about it, but we don't often get trained about it. Or,
Right.
like you
Right.
said, have kind of access to it. So I am imagining that this is a part of the attraction for this
Mm.
group that forms. There are women who are like, yes, that's what I want. I'm really looking for that. So,
Mhm.
step number one, you're going to brainstorm, you're going to find out ideas, and then I want to know all about it. How
Okay.
does it go? It's really exciting. So, for the people listening to this show who will want to find out about that group coaching or your individual coaching, where can they find you?
Probably best to look at my website, and it's just my name, arjanmakar.com.
All right. Wonderful. So, as we're closing, I don't know I kind of feel like there's a closing piece. What do you what it from going through the soul search? Like what are you taking from that? What's kind of a piece that
Yeah. I'm always amazed by how it starts off and you think that there's like it's like a step-by-step thing, like what that's gonna be real orderly. And it never really is. It's definitely like it takes my brain in places that I didn't expect to access.
Mm.
I mean, I even changed the topic, like, as soon as we started talking because I thought maybe I was gonna talk about, 3 more clients by the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't expect, like, I don't know, relationships, like, intuition. How did we end up there? But
Where did
that's
that
just what
even
came
come from?
through.
I love that, Arjun, and I'm asking for you, but also for the listeners because this process. This is what is it intended for. I know coaches out there. They're sitting in their office right now, listening to this, and they're scratching their heads about what they're supposed to do next. And this is what I want. This is the gift of this show, and I so appreciate you coming on and being willing to play with it. Is to show, yeah, this is how we grow our businesses. It's by as coaches, it's really funny because this is a coaching tool. This is a way of going, yeah, what's really here right now? What's present right now that wants to be birthed through you, that actually wants to, come out and play right now? And it's right there. And all you need to do is ask these questions and kind of go down into it and be willing to be open and see what happens. So thank you for that. Love that. Anyone
Thank you.
listening who wants to have some fun with the soul search, I do this occasionally on this show. So you can just drop me a line. We do have a soul search training a program course in the soul driven success community. I'd be happy to show people around and go look up Arjun. And all of this is in the notes that come with the show, all the spellings and all of that, and find out what she's all about. And if this group coaching has sparked your interest, you can always reach out to me. I'll connect you with her, or you can find her on her website to find out more if you want to find out about your intuition and how it might work in relationships. Thank you so much, Arjun, for
Thank
being
you
on
so
the
much,
show.
Kat. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
always fun. And to the listeners, I'll talk to you next time.